Whether you've just won the lottery, found a rare artifact worth a lot of money, or pulled a heist in a bank, you've now got $10 million and you don't know what to do with your newfound riches. Well, there's three options really. You can either speedrun how quickly you can blow through the money, or you can be sensible and try and make your money last your entire life. Or you can make even more money. I mean, you've heard the saying, it takes money to make money, and it's not wrong. Well, the first thing you probably want to do is not tell anyone you've made the money. That's assuming whatever way you've made money will let you be so private about it. Like how a lot of lotteries won't even let you collect the money without posing for a photo with the check. But that's okay, if that happens, move house and change your phone number. They probably won't find you. This is because usually when people come into money, people they used to know will come back into their lives asking for said money. And whilst that doesn't sound bad, it can quickly add up if you have no other way of ensuring that you'll actually get it back. And let's be honest, you could definitely put the money to better use, or if not, at least more selfish uses. So let's say you want to blow the money as quickly as possible, the fun method. What can you buy with $10 million? Well, you could buy a house in pretty much any location, in any city, in any neighborhood. However, you're still not chilling with the richest as $10 million isn't the top end of how expensive houses can get. But then on top of that, the more expensive house you buy, the more expenses it has to maintaining it. So you might want to save a bit of money for that too. Or you could buy a boat, because nothing says I have too much money like a house that's on the water. Well, with $10 million, you could buy yourself a modest yacht that is 130 feet or 40 meters. But don't forget that once again, a yacht has expenses, and those expenses are nearly $1 million a year for staffing, docking, and fuel, so you might be able to enjoy your yacht for about half a year if you get a good deal on one. So how about cars? Well, you can actually get pretty much the most expensive modern production cars for $10 million. So if you want something classy to drive in or for somebody to drive you in, you might fit the Mercedes Maybach Accelero. But if you think that's ugly, you might prefer the fastest production road car, the Bugatti Chiron. Or if complete speed isn't it for you and you like toy cars, maybe a Lamborghini Venimo or a Lamborghini Sian is more what you'd want. Or if you want class, speed, and looks, maybe an Aston Martin Valkyrie, or if you want 8 supercars, maybe 8 Ferrari LaFerraris. Or if you're more about the party life and you want some super expensive alcohol, try Henry IV's Dungenyon Heritage Cognac Grande Champagne, which runs at 1.8 million per bottle. Or if that's not heavy enough for you, how about 89.2 kilograms of the finest cocaine, which would be enough to keep the entire drug user population of London satisfied for 3 days. But you could probably go years on it. Or let's say you want to be more sensible with your money, also known as the boring method. But let's say for this purpose also, you don't want to put that money into making more money. So what's the most sensible things you could buy without actually earning more money back on your initial money? Let's set our budget to 10 million and see what we can get. Well, kicking us off strong, depending where you live, it's not going to be that fun. Taxes will take a sizable amount of your profits, assuming your profits were legal, right off the bat. Let's say you lived in California and that's where you made your money. You'd be paying $5,280,000, which is over half your earnings gone before you even got to spend a cent. Or you could start saving money right off the bat by moving to Florida or Texas and pay no state tax and only lose $3,901,000, which is nothing, right? If you're in the UK, you will also be paying taxes at about 4.6 million, which is a little better than California, but worse than Florida and Texas. So let's just say on average, you're losing about 45% before you even start. So after that, your first and most important thing to buy is a house. It's the asset that will be the most secure investment, plus you can live in it, and say down the line you want to move somewhere else, you can, and it likely won't have lost any money. So where do you buy? Well, this is completely up to you. If you want a city, Los Angeles and New York are the obvious ones if you want to be in America. If you want to be in Europe, you could go for London for English speaking, Berlin for the kindest and most welcoming city, Madrid or Paris for that classic European styling. If you want Asia, Tokyo might be more your vibe, or Singapore, as long as you can live with its more than strict set of laws for any Westerners to get used to, Shanghai or Hong Kong if the Chinese government doesn't scare you, or Seoul if you want to live in the most technologically advanced city in the world, assuming North Korea doesn't get any more aggressive anytime soon. Or maybe you want nature, like a wood lodge in the mountains of Colorado or Canada, or a small village in England's Yorkshire Dales, or a castle in France, because, I mean, why not? They don't even cost that much. They only cost about 250 to 500,000 euros, with a little bit more for renovating it and making it livable in modern day. Next, you need a car from getting to A to B. Now, luxury sport cars aren't known for being great A to B cars, but you can get a Lamborghini or a Ferrari for about $200,000, which against 10 million isn't that much. But if you want to be more sensible and save money, maybe an electric vehicle is the best bet for you to save money, as you won't have to spend nearly as much on fuel. Maybe something like a Tesla or an Audi e-tron. Now, that's pretty much it. You need to save some money for the cost of living year on year, around $2,500 a year for food, $2,200 a year for home utility, and around $600 for your brand new Tesla or Audi to charge it up. So you've also got a lot of money left over to work with for yearly holidays, yearly presents for friends and family, but the one thing you've got to remember is not let too much lifestyle inflation change your spending habits. If you don't know what that is, it's where you suddenly start spending a lot of money on stuff like clothes, cars, fancy restaurants because you can suddenly afford it. Issue is, all these things are small, but add up very quickly until you're spending more money a month on experiences than you were an entire year before the money. And now let's say you won 10 million and you wanted to use this rare opportunity to turn your life around and become the next Donald Trump of business. Well, that's a shame, because his dad actually gave him 140 million today's money, not 10, but you can at least try, I guess. So what should you do? Well, first, you should hire a financial advisor, someone you can trust to make decisions for you. Now, if you did win your money through, say, the lottery, you're in luck, because many countries won't actually even tax lottery winners. But if you didn't do this, and you found a rare item, let's say, you will be taxed, so take that into consideration. And if you robbed a bank, you'll need to launder your money first before you can even consider doing anything else with it. But that might be a topic for another video. Now, once you've got your financial advisor, they can help you set up trusts and invest into safe companies. Remember, no one can predict the stock market, so the likelihood of you making a couple million in your first year is unlikely. But placing surefire bets that historically have given year-on-year small returns is where you want to be. Something like a stocks and shares fund that will invest into the top couple hundred companies in whatever given exchange you choose. The likelihood of all these companies going down at once due to a worldwide pandemic or a stock market crash is unlikely, to say the least, right? But worst case, if this does happen, give it a year or a few and you'll be back to where you started with no losses. The next most important thing to do is tell nobody, for the reasons I previously explained, that you've got this money. Now, you should probably pay off any debts you previously had. These will only slow you down with any business opportunities you might want to do, as a low credit score will just lower your profits and efficiency down the line. Next thing is to tell nobody. You could also look at starting a business. If you have an idea that you've been planning for years, maybe try that, but limit your budget to make yourself have a creative get around for problems you come across, and also so you don't spend everything when it was never meant to be. Or if you want to play safer bet and you live in a city/country with a rising population and increasing levels of wealth like the UK or certain US states, you could invest in property. Whether you want to buy to sell or buy to rent, both have positives and negatives to each, so you should look into that. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, the next step is to tell nobody. And finally, with the rest, you can complete the list from before of buying a car, a house, and lifestyle things, knowing you'll hopefully now be set up for the rest of your life, living out your time on compound interest of your stocks, and the rent or sales of your newly found property company, like nothing could ever go wrong. Oh, and please don't gamble. I mean it all, like never go to Vegas or Macau, just don't do it. Not a single form of gambling has a positive rate of return, and losing isn't fun. Same goes for risky stock market plays. You've got the money, don't get greedy. So that's it. Let me know down in the comments below what expensive items you blow your money on, or how you would have made more money back with your 10 million. Either way, I will see you on the next video.